26 is not a soft day. It is not subtle. It is not the kind of energy you drift through without consequence. On this day, Mercury forms a tense semi-square to Pluto while the waning gibbous moon shifts into Capricorn, and something sealed begins to open. A veil lifts. A mirror cracks. What was hidden in love, in trust, in silence, in your own private suspicions, begins to show its face. And you must understand what is happening now, because this is not random emotion. This is revelation. There are cosmic moments that feel like a blessing, and there are cosmic moments that feel like a test. This one feels like moonlight moving across a locked room, slowly exposing what has been sitting there all along. You may have tried to make peace with the uncertainty. You may have told yourself to wait, to be patient, to give someone the benefit of the doubt, to stop overthinking, to trust the process. But April 7th does not reward denial. It does not protect comfortable illusions. It breaks the eclipse like darkness just enough for you to see the outline of the truth. Mercury is the mind, the message, the conversation, the thought you cannot turn off. Pluto is the underworld, the buried motive, the obsession, the power struggle, the thing hidden beneath the words. When these two form tension, the air changes. Conversations feel heavier. Silences feel louder. A text message can feel loaded. Glance can feel suspicious. Your intuition becomes impossible to dismiss because the mind and the shadow are speaking at the same time. And when the moon moves into Capricorn on the same day, emotion stops floating. It becomes serious, measured, cold enough to be clear. This is why April 7th carries warning energy, especially in love. Because this is not just about catching someone in a lie. It is also about catching yourself in a pattern. It is about noticing where you have been explaining away distance, romanticizing confusion, or accepting emotional breadcrumbs because part of you feared what the full truth would require. A sealed letter is opening now, and whether that letter comes through another person's actions, through your own dreams, through a conversation, or through a sudden inner knowing, the message inside it changes something before this day. You may have already felt the pressure building, may have felt it as restlessness in your chest, strange tightness in your throat, a sense that something in your connection was no longer flowing naturally. You may have been receiving mixed signals, sensing emotional distance, or feeling watched by your own thoughts. One moment you wanted to trust, the next moment you felt your stomach drop for no clear reason. That is how these transits often begin. Not with a dramatic explosion, but with the quiet sound of the mirror starting to fracture. You may have been tired in a deeper way than sleep can fix. Not physically tired at first, but spiritually tired. Tired of decoding half-truths. Tired of reaching for clarity and getting vagueness. Tired of carrying emotional weight that was never named out loud. Some of you have been holding love that has become karmically heavy. Some of you have been trying to save a connection that has been feeding on your hope while starving your peace. Some of you have known deep down that a truth was coming. April 7th is when that truth starts moving toward the surface. This is the warning. Do not mistake discomfort for confusion. Sometimes discomfort is clarity arriving before the facts do. Sometimes your body knows the truth before your mind is ready to read it. Under Mercury and Pluto tension, suspicion can rise, yes, but so can precision. The difference matters. This is not a day to spiral into fear. This is a day to observe what becomes impossible to ignore. The universe is not asking you to accuse blindly. It is asking you to pay attention to what no longer aligns, what no longer feels clean, what no longer survives the moonlight. And moonlight is the right symbol here, because this is not harsh daylight clarity. It is something more haunting than that. It is the kind of knowing that slips into the room while everything is quiet. The kind that reaches you at 2 a.m. when you suddenly understand why a certain message felt off, why a delay felt deliberate, why affection came with conditions, why the energy shifted the moment, commitment, honesty, or accountability entered the conversation. The veil lifting under this transit does not always come with noise. Sometimes. It comes with one sentence, one look, one omission, one undeniable pattern. What is shifting now is your tolerance. That is one of the deepest truths of this transit. It is not only revealing the other person, it is revealing the version of you that has been standing in emotional fog for too long. The mirror cracking is not there to punish you. It is there to free you from distortion. Someone has been withholding, manipulating, circling back only when convenient, or giving you intimacy without emotional safety. This energy will magnify the imbalance. If a connection is built on truth, it may feel intense for a moment, but it will not collapse under honesty. If it is built on control, avoidance, or hidden motives, the cracks will spread. You may feel this mentally first. Racing thoughts, replaying conversations, studying tone, reading between the lines. Feeling mentally pressured by what you sense, but cannot yet prove. Mercury-Pluto tension can make the mind feel like it is gripping something sharp. You may feel compelled to investigate, to ask, to uncover, to know. Be careful here. The purpose is not obsession. The purpose is revelation. There is a difference between hunting for pain and allowing truth to emerge. Let the energy show you what repeats. Let actions speak. The sealed letter open on its own timing, because forced clarity often creates more noise than truth, emotionally. This transit can feel like heaviness in the chest and coolness around the heart, not because you do not care, but because your soul is stepping back to assess what your heart has been absorbing. You may cry unexpectedly. You may feel numb and then suddenly overwhelmed. You may swing between longing and detachment in the same hour. That does not mean you are unstable. It means the eclipse-like darkness is breaking. Your emotional system is adjusting to a different level of honesty. Spiritually, this is a threshold moment, a karmic checkpoint. The kind of day where the universe asks one brutal but liberating question: what are you still pretending not to know? Some of you are being shown that a chapter is ending, not because you failed, but because you have outgrown what secrecy, inconsistency, and emotional immaturity can offer. Some of you are being shown that a relationship can survive truth, but not avoidance. And some of you are being shown that the deepest hidden truth has nothing to do with another person at all. It is your own realization that you are ready for a different standard of love. Physically, you may notice unusual sensitivity. Sleep may become lighter. Dreams may turn vivid, symbolic, even confrontational. You may wake with messages from the subconscious already pressing against your mind. The throat can feel tight under this kind of tension, especially if there is something you need to say or something you are tired of swallowing. The shoulders may feel heavy. Stomach may become more reactive. The nervous system may become alert, watchful, overstimulated by emotional ambiguity. This is why you must treat the body as part of the message. The body is not separate from the transit. It is one of the places truth lands first. And there is another layer here that many people miss. When love becomes uncertain, money often becomes spiritual. Self-worth and finances are never as separate as people pretend. April 7th can expose where emotional instability has been affecting your ability to receive. Save, invest, or protect your resources. If you've been spending from anxiety, giving too much to prove your value, rescuing people who drain you, or making financial choices from loneliness or fear, this transit can show you the leak. A mirror cracks in love, and suddenly you see the same pattern in your bank account: overextension, overgiving, under dash protection. For some of you, the hidden truth surfacing in love will also reveal a truth about labor and value. You may realize you have been carrying more than your share emotionally and materially. You may see that you have been compensating for someone else's inconsistency with your time, your energy, your money, your patience. Under Capricorn moon energy, the question becomes practical. Is this sustainable? Is this secure? Does this create long-term peace or just temporary relief? This is not the day for impulsive investments, emotionally charged spending, or trying to buy comfort when clarity would serve you better. If you run a business, work closely with clients, manage shared finances, or are making long-term plans with someone, read the fine print of both words and energy. A sealed letter opening is not only romantic symbolism, It is contractual symbolism too. Hidden terms, unspoken expectations, power imbalances, vague agreements, all of it comes into sharper view now. Protect your resources. Slow down financial decisions made under emotional pressure. Do not mix longing with logistics. Do not confuse chemistry with reliability. Your health deserves equal seriousness. This is not the kind of transit where pushing through works well. If your body asks for water, give it water. If it asks for stillness, give it stillness. If it asks you to turn off the noise, stop scrolling. Step away from the constant input, then listen. The nervous system can become overloaded when the heart is reading danger signals. Ground yourself. Eat simply. Hydrate more than usual. Put your feet on the floor. Let your breath lengthen. There is wisdom in slowing the body when the mind wants to run into the shadows with a flashlight. Protect your sleep as if it were sacred instruction, because during a transit like this, it often is. The dreams can carry messages that you're waking. Self has resisted. Symbols may repeat. Faces may appear. Old memories may return. A mirror, a hallway, a locked room, a letter, water under moonlight. Pay attention. Your psyche is not trying to scare you. It is trying to decode what your conscious mind has been too busy, too loyal, or too afraid to fully admit. Your body is part of the revelation. Treat it gently. Now we come to relationships, because this is where April 7th becomes unforgettable. This is one of those days when communication stops being casual. Every word matters. Every delay means something. Every omission becomes louder. If someone truly cares, they will move toward clarity, not away from it. If someone respects the connection, they will not punish you for wanting honesty. If someone is emotionally mature, they will not call your intuition too much simply because it threatens their convenience. And if someone has been hiding behind charm, vagueness, or control, this transit may pull the mask just enough for you to finally see the face underneath. Do not ignore shifts in tone. Do not ignore defensiveness that appears the moment you ask a direct question. Do not ignore when affection is offered only after distance, when reassurance arrives only after withdrawal, or when vulnerability is used as a performance instead of a bridge. Mercury-Pluto tension can make people speak from shadow. It can make manipulation more obvious, but it can also make truth more urgent. Someone may confess. Someone may reveal their jealousy, fear, or deeper feelings. What has been trapped in silence? Not every truth that surfaces is a betrayal. Some truths are invitations to grow up, but here is the standard you must hold. Truth that heals takes responsibility. Truth that harms without accountability is just another form of chaos. Watch how the truth arrives. Watch whether it comes with maturity or blame. Watch whether someone opens the sealed letter with steady hands or throws it at you and calls it honesty. This transit is not just revealing facts. It is revealing character. And character is what determines whether love is safe enough to deepen or wise enough to leave. If you are single, this transit still applies. Because hidden truth in love is not only about another person, it can also be about what you are still carrying from the past. An old attachment may rise. A pattern may become undeniable. You may realize you have been attracting emotionally unavailable people because part of you has been confusing mystery with depth. You may see where longing has been stronger than discernment. The mirror cracking can reveal that your next chapter of love cannot begin until your standards stop apologizing for themselves. If you are in a committed relationship, this is a powerful day to notice whether your bond can hold emotional truth. Without turning into a battlefield, Capricorn moon supports maturity. It asks for steadiness, accountability, and emotional structure. That means no mind games, no punishing silence, no vague half-conversations that leave both people more anxious than before. One honest conversation can change the direction of a relationship right now. Not a dramatic conversation, not a performative one, a real one. Kind where both people stop protecting their image long enough to protect the bond. And if you are in a situation that has never fully defined itself, listen carefully. This transit may show you that undefined connections often survive by keeping you slightly confused. Not devastated enough to leave, not secure enough to relax, just uncertain enough to stay invested. That is not peace. That is emotional suspension. April 7th is the kind of day that snaps the thread. The moonlight finds the shadows. The veil lifts. And you may realize the truth is not hidden because it was complex. It was hidden because no one wanted to say it plainly. So what should you do during this transit? First, slow down your reactions without slowing down your awareness. You do not need to chase clarity. You need to create enough stillness to recognize it. Observe patterns more than promises. Watch what happens when you stop over-explaining. Stop rescuing the conversation. Stop filling the silence. Stop giving people softer versions of your boundaries so they will not leave. Truth often appears the moment you stop performing emotional labor for everyone in the room. Second, write things down. Journal what you feel before you talk yourself out of it. Journal what was said, what was avoided, what changed in your body when certain words were spoken. Mercury-Pluto energy can make intuition sharp, but it can also make memory emotional. Writing turns emotional fog into evidence. It allows you to see the pattern instead of living inside it. A sealed letter opening deserves to be read carefully. Third, if a conversation must happen, let it be clean. Ask one direct question. State one clear need. Name one pattern you will no longer tolerate. You do not need a 10-page speech. Sometimes one sentence spoken with calm truth carries more power than pages of emotion. I need consistency, not intensity. I will not continue this without honesty. Your actions are not matching your words. Under Capricorn moon energy, clarity becomes stronger when it is simple. Fourth, protect your money, your time, and your nervous system. Do not make emotional spending choices. Do not offer help out of guilt. Do not overgive because you are afraid truth will create distance. Let distance teach you what closeness has been hiding. And fifth, rest more than your ego thinks you should. Revelation is work. It moves through the mind, the body, the heart, and the soul. You are allowed to step back while the mirror cracks. You are allowed to let the dust settle before deciding what comes next. Now let us speak directly to the 3 zodiac signs most affected by this warning. Because for Pisces, Gemini, and Capricorn, this energy may feel especially personal. Pisces. This one may strike the deepest because you are often the sign that feels what is unsaid before anyone else admits it exists. You may have been trying to keep the peace, trying to read compassion where there was actually avoidance, trying to hold space for someone whose truth has remained just out of reach. But April 7th does not let you disappear into hope. It asks you to look directly at what your sensitivity has been catching for weeks, maybe months. A veil is lifting around a bond, and what is being shown to you is not there to break your heart. It is there to return your discernment. For you, Pisces, the hidden truth may come through intuition first and conversation second. You may feel it in your dreams, in your exhaustion, in your inability to romanticize what once felt beautiful. And here is your warning. Do not sacrifice clarity to preserve fantasy. Love is not proven by how much pain you can absorb while still calling it faith. The mirror cracking in your world reveals where you have been reaching for emotional rescue when what you truly needed was emotional reciprocity. Choose what protects your peace, even if it disappoints your longing. Gemini. For you, this transit moves through the mind like lightning in a sealed room. Words matter to you. Tone matters. Timing matters. And on April 7th, every message may feel loaded. You may suddenly see patterns in communication that you can no longer unsee. Contradictions, delays, shifts in language. It's things that once seemed small now reveal a deeper structure underneath. A sealed letter opens in your world through information. Something said casually may expose something serious. Something not said may become the loudest truth in the room. Your warning. Gemini is not to let mental overdrive turn revelation into obsession. You do not need to interrogate every detail until you are exhausted. You need to notice what has already become consistent. You are being shown the difference between curiosity and self-betrayal. If someone keeps you guessing, it is not always because the story is complicated. Sometimes it is because uncertainty gives them more power than truth would. On this day, choose directness over decoding. Choose grounded fact over-anxious imagination. The mirror cracking in your life is trying to free your mind, not trap it. Capricorn. This energy lands differently for you because the moon enters your sign and places emotional seriousness directly on your shoulders. You may feel more guarded than usual, more observant, less willing to indulge emotional chaos. And that is not coldness, that is wisdom. You are being asked to assess whether the structures of your love life are actually supporting your future, or silently draining your stability. April 7 brings the moonlight straight into the architecture of your relationships. What is solid will hold, what is performative will start to fracture. Asterisk. For you, Capricorn, the hidden truth may be about responsibility. Who carries the weight? Who follows through? Who makes promises but leaves you managing the consequences? You are being shown where devotion has become overfunctioning, where patience has become self-abandonment, where maturity has been demanded from you but not matched by the other person. Your warning is this: do not confuse endurance with destiny. Just because you can carry something does not mean it was yours to carry forever. The veil lifting here is a gift. It reveals which connections can actually build a future with you, which ones only lean on your strength. For all three of these signs. And for anyone feeling this transit intensely, the deeper lesson is the same hidden truth is not the enemy. Distortion is. The crack in the mirror is not the destruction of love. It is the destruction of illusion. Illusion, no matter how beautiful, cannot build a life. It cannot calm the nervous system. It cannot create trust. It cannot hold you when the real tests come. Truth can hurt for a moment, yes, but truth also restores power, returns you to yourself. So if April 7th feels heavy, do not rush to label it bad. Some days are heavy because they are carrying revelation. Some days are serious because your soul is being asked to stop bargaining with what it already knows. This is one of those days. There is wisdom in the discomfort. There is protection in the pause. There's mercy in the message, even if the message is not the one your heart wanted at first. You are not being abandoned in this moment. You are being shown. You're being redirected away from what confuses your spirit and toward what can actually meet you in truth. The moonlight exposing shadows is not there to terrify you. It is there to prove that your intuition was not imagining things. The sealed letter opening is not there to punish you. It is there to free you from waiting in the wrong room. The eclipse-like darkness breaking is not the end of your hope. It is the end of false hope, and that difference matters. So, walk carefully on April 7th, but do not walk fearfully. Speak carefully, but do not silence yourself. Observe deeply, but do not abandon your peace to investigation. Let the veil lift. Let the mirror crack. Let the truth surface in love, in money, in the body, in the places where you have been asked to stay asleep. This is where everything changes, not because the universe is against you, but because it is refusing to let you remain in shadow. And if something is revealed now, the truth arrives that alters your path. Remember this: the universe does not remove illusions to leave you empty. It removes them so you can finally build on what is real. Stay grounded. Stay honest. Stay close to your own knowing. What surfaces now may shake you, but it can also save you. Sometimes the greatest protection does not come as comfort. Sometimes it comes as clarity under cold